All right, cool. Well, here we go. All right, let's get the show started. We're already on, and I'm actually visiting one of my friends, Mr. David Mendez.
What's up, girl?
I'm so excited. Guys, I'm so excited to have a guest. It's always more fun that way because then I don't feel like I'm kind of talking to myself, right? But that's not unusual for me either. So I wanted to thank you again for being my guest on this super special episode number 2, which I'm calling Topo Chico Please. And I'm going to tell you why. All right, and actually he's going to like let you know,
I'm going to let you know, guys, as well. But
Also,
thank you so much for inviting me. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so this is what's going to happen today, all right? So today is actually a sobriety issue. Because today is actually Monday. We're pre-recording this. But tomorrow is actually my 2-year anniversary of being sober, all right? And so, David, you've been sober how long?
So I've been sober for 4 years and 3 months now. 4 years and 3 months. July was actually my anniversary, this past July.
Man, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, I never thought that I would reach 2 years because originally my sobriety started from like a 200-day sober challenge that I kind of did for myself. And actually I'm going to name somebody else that we know. Mr. Deontay.
Oh, yeah.
Deontay actually kind of inspired me to start this 200-day challenge because of a story that he told. And so, you know, I decided to do it, and I'll get into that a little bit. But David, where are you from?
So I was born here in the States, but I'm from Mexico City, actually. I was raised over there to the age of 12.
All right.
Pretty interesting life over there.
Oh, I bet.
Very interesting life.
So it's great because now we're going to get into talking about culture and how it has kind of affected or not affected, but I guess like influenced our sobriety. So we'll get into that here in a little bit. So originally from Mexico City. All right. Well, you know what? I forgot this. This is supposed to be Spanglish.
Spanglish?
So, yes. So,
okay,
anyways, okay. Oh, how do you say sober in Spanish?
Sobrio.
Sobrio, okay.
Sobrio, pienso que sí.
Okay, entonces este episodio, how do you say episodio?
Sure.
Okay, el programa de hoy va a ser de
Sobriedad.
Oh, this is so great because now I have somebody that can actually translate. So if you saw my episode 1, I was just like, how do you say this and how do you say that? But y'all guys get the point. So, all right, cool. Entonces, David es de México y me alegra mucho porque necesito ayuda con mi español.
Yo también, mi español está poco mucho, pero
y
más o menos.
Ya somos dos,
aquí
ni modo,
somos
ya
equipo.
nos fregamos,
Tranquilo,
pero bueno,
todo está bien.
no se entienden con palabras o
Claro.
señas, pero no se entienden. Okay, let me see. So we already went over how long you've been sober. So you've been sober 4.5 years, something like that, right?
Going 4.5 years.
All right, cool. And I'm on 2. All right, so let's talk about your first memory. All right, we're gonna dig out some dirt right now.
Damn.
All right, I'm gonna ask you first, and then I'll go second.
Okay.
All right, so first memory of drinking alcohol.
It was a Zima when I was 13 years old.
A Zima. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of us that kind of remember the Zima stages,
it was a
right?
Zima when I was 13 years of age. That's
all right. And where were you? What was going on? Or?
So me and my buddies back in the days, we grew up in the hood, of course. And, back in the hood, as apartments, you could actually get alcohol at an apartment. Somebody selling like candies and stuff like that,
Oh, okay.
The Keegans, we call them.
Uh-huh.
So it's like Mexico, where I'm from, you could actually go get the alcohol for the adults being 8, 7 years old. And, hey, go agarrame una caguama. So here I go. So that's how it was in these apartments.
All right.
So we're like, yeah, it's from my uncle. They gave us Zimas, and we started tasting Zimas.
Golly, those were some good times. I wonder if that's still like happening now.
In Mexico?
No, here.
Oh, I'm pretty sure somewhere. I mean, I don't know.
Like over the years, I guess as we get older, I kind of think that those kind of things don't happen anymore. But they actually do happen. So if you have like 12 or 13-year-old, children right now, don't sleep on them. They're probably doing the same thing that you were doing. You just don't think they are. All right. So, all right, cool. All right. So my first memory actually of drinking alcohol, I was probably about the same age, maybe a little bit older. I think I was maybe 14, 15 at the most. And I'm about to do some Tekashi 6ix9ine right now, and I'm gonna stitch on my cousins. All right. My mom and my dad are gonna watch this show, so this is gonna be the first time that I actually confess to this.
Okay.
So sorry, Mom, but I remember going to spend the night at my older cousin's house, and they had bought like 40s. They had about 40 ounces. Yeah, and they were like having a party for some reason. I can't remember what. It was just a regular Friday. And I remember drinking a 40 and like throwing up on the couch. Damn. Right? Yeah. So shout out to Gama. Shout out to Janet. Shout out to all of y'all. Hey. Shout out to all of y'all for buying alcohol for your underage little cousins and having us throw up, because I think my brother was there too. And so that's my first memory of like having alcohol, going hard too, because it's not like I had a Zima. I had a whole 40. It was old English.
Yeah, I know those old English.
Smelling like hobos and stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty rough. So that was my first memory of alcohol. So
nice.
Sort of.
Yeah.
All right. So your last memory of having alcohol.
So the last memory, I went out with my girlfriend, Nancy. We went out.
Wait, are you still with her?
Yeah, I'm still with her.
Okay, all right. I was just making sure we're not like, saying no, like, don't get in trouble.
No. We're still together. We've been together for a while.
Cool. Shout out to Nancy.
Hey. So, actually, this is what happened. So when I first started getting to the active lifestyle, they started a body fat challenge. So I said, well, if I leave beer, I can actually win this challenge, because I used to be a heavy beer drinker. So I did it for a month. That's kind of everything happened. So after a month, we're like, hey, well, I didn't win, of course, but I got really close. So hey, let's go out and party. Let's go out. All right, cool. Bought a bottle. We went out, and she's a lightweight. She was still a lightweight whenever we started drinking. I had a very high tolerance. Mm-hmm. So we went out with two, 3 drinks. She was already tipsy, and I was like, I'm ready to get started. Where are we going? So I finished the bottle. I went back home, and like I say, I used to DJ and stuff at my house, so I started playing music. And
y se armó.
Se armó.
Oh, man.
18-pack later, bottle of red wine. But to be honest with you, this is the first time I ever got a hangover that I felt sick. So that was the last memory, and that's actually wasn't no more. That's not really why, but it's just like I felt
So you didn't want to experience the hangover feeling ever again?
I had never experienced that before in my years of drinking.
Dang, I wish I could have said that. I experienced that plenty of times.
It was like, I even asked her. I said, man, I think I gotta go to the doctor. I think I got food poisoning or something.
I gotta go to the emergency.
I never experienced it, so I was like weirded out. She's like, no, you just hungover. Dude.
Let's get you some some menudo. What she feed you?
Nothing. Like I usually would
Suffer.
Drink. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, but I learned. So that was my last memory.
Oh man, dang, our stories really are different. Well, so I was right before we started, recording the show. I was telling David how I just posted up. It's actually my dad's birthday today, and so I had posted up a memory of him dancing around in a restaurant, for his birthday and stuff. And I remember that was actually the last day that I drank alcohol. So 2 years ago. Because it was his birthday, but I drank like it was my birthday that day. We went out to dinner. I bought them some margaritas, some Patron shots. We all drank. And that was just enough to get me kind of lit up. And we dropped the parents off, me and my brother, and then we went to the bar. And, to make a long story short and pretty, I just had nothing but shots at the bar. I nearly died, I nearly died from just I guess alcohol poisoning. Yeah,
I heard that before.
Yeah, it was. I had a very, very rough morning the next day, and actually that was already like my 3rd or 4th kind of bad experience within a short period of time. And at that point, I was just like, you know what? I don't know if I want to keep doing this to myself. So, I just kind of quit cold turkey. Like the next day, that was it. That was the last day. And I haven't turned back since then.
Wow.
So that was my last experience. So shout out to my dad. Happy birthday. Thanks.
Happy birthday.
For, letting me have those shots with you. I learned my lesson and I haven't drank since.
Awesome.
So that was my last memory of drinking. So right now I think that a lot of people probably want to know, what do you guys do when you go out? What do you drink when you go out? Because I think that a lot of people feel like when you go sober, that it's boring. That you're a boring person. You probably just stay home and
I totally agree. So, and that's actually a funny thing you say, because I've learned how to have fun without alcohol. Because here's what was my thinking when I used to drink. If I'm not going to drink, what am I going to go out for? It's going to be boring, like you said. There's no purpose behind it.
Yeah.
But slowly when I started just kind of transitioning and not drinking and stuff like that, you know, that's when I started actually working out a lot harder. So the exercise for me had a lot to do with, you know, getting sober.
Yeah.
Because I was active all the time. Because I remember how I felt after that first and last hangover that I ever had. You know, after coming and work out and stuff, I didn't want to experience that feeling. So then I would actually, you know, keep on being active on the weekends.
All right.
And then the first time we started going out, you know, I would, you know, just go out anywhere. I was like, should I not? Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna pass. And I'm telling you, like 1 week led up to 2 weeks, 2 weeks led up to a month. And I think the last time I was tempted, we had like an event at my house. We were watching like a fight or something. But, you know, my circle of influence too, they wouldn't drink. So I wasn't really tempted to. There was nothing there.
So you actually had other sober people? Or were they just not drinking? Because...
No, I had sober people around me, you know. Right. So it's like I said, when I started getting involved with a different circle of influence where instead of bringing a 6-pack of beer, they would just bring a case of water.
Yes.
I'm like, this is weird.
This is weird.
You know, like my first year was very strange because I was not used to it. But that's when I started learning how to have fun without alcohol. Like, you know what, I could do this.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, it's actually a funny thing that we're actually still kind of fun without the alcohol.
Oh, we're fun.
You know, the alcohol kind of made me do some really, really wild things. I'm sure a lot of my friends have plenty of stories and probably pictures to go with those stories too. But you know, I guess that's one of the reasons why I also decided to stop drinking, because I was just like, man, you know, I'm just getting a little too out of hand now. I'm getting a little too old to be acting like this. And so when you go out now, or if you have family events, so your choice of drink is what, just water?
Water. I just drink water. You know, I take, you know, some tea sometimes and stuff like that, but really just water. Yeah,
it's funny that you brought that up because I always tell people there's 2 ways to get lit. And it's through tea or through alcohol. And I choose tea.
Yeah, I choose tea. Like
and if you don't know, then you need to like shoot us a message. I'm going to put you on our tea because our tea is going to get you lit up. It's better than alcohol for sure.
Yes.
So, all right. So for me, what kind of got me through the sober process, which I'm still going through, is when I first decided to stop drinking, I met one person. All right, through a mutual friend, and she was actually sober, right? And she had invited me to go watch like a Astros game or something like that at Buffalo Wild Wings. And you know, at that time I was like, man, you can't go eat wings and not have beer, right?
That's another thing. Yeah.
And so I was like, she was like, hey, come out and watch the game with us. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I actually said no. And I said no because I didn't want to be tempted to get wings and get a beer. And you know, I didn't want her to get offended because I said no. And I said, look, you know, I kind of was embarrassed to be like, I don't drink, or I'm trying not to drink, because, you know, like I said, people automatically assume that you're boring, or they may not want to hang out with you. You know what I mean? Plus, I had, you know, met her under different circumstances. Right. We were drinking. You know what I mean? Well, I was drinking. And so, you know, so I said no. And so when I told her that I was trying not to drink, she said, oh, well, I'm like 7 months sober. And I was like, man, is this crazy? Like, you know, how, you know, we're always talking about how, you know, certain people and certain things happen in your life for a reason. And I felt like she was like a person that needed to be in my life at that particular point to kind of help me through this.
To
get
really,
me through it.
That's support. That's really nice.
And it was pretty cool. Like, you know, I love her to death, man. Like, I still roll with her. I haven't seen her in a bit, but we talk and stuff. And she's still sober. Like I said, she's got like 7 months ahead of me, so I think she's going into like three years or something like that.
That's amazing.
And she doesn't plan on you know, going back to drinking or anything. She has her own story and stuff like that. And I want to talk to her, but not today. I'll probably do a little short episode with her, because I think that, you know, she's a very big influence in my, you know, sobriety.
Journey,
yeah. And she also introduced me to drinking Topo Chico. So that's how she got through. You know, like going out and not drinking beer or not drinking alcohol. She would just order Topo Chico whenever she would go out. And so she put me on the Topo Chico game. And that's why I was like, today's topic is going to be called
That's what I drink
Topo Chico Please.
That does help.
Yeah, it does, because, you know, I think it's just like, you know, the carbonation, you know, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Especially, like, if you used to drink micheladas, right? Like,
oh, man, the micheladas with Topo Chico are bomb, actually.
They're the bomb.com.
If y'all haven't tried it, man, I've put a lot of people on Topo Chico micheladas, and they're like, dang, this is actually pretty good.
It kind of gives it, I mean, you know, of course, not the same, but it's very, very, like,
it's
similar.
Very close. It's very close. It's very close. All right, cool. So I was doing some research because I always do research prior to my podcast just to see if I can like brush up on something new. And so I was reading something that said there's a difference between being sober and being in recovery.
Yes.
Yes?
I think I totally agree on that.
Do you know anybody that's in like recovery?
I did actually. I haven't talked to my friend in a while, but yeah, he was actually in recovery for a year. And going based on my experience and his, it was two different stories.
Right.
Where he actually had to stop the drinking because his actions that he would take whenever he was, under the influence of alcohol and everything that led up to it, versus, like me, it was kind of like a choice out of willpower and slowly wanted to change.
Yeah.
So he had to, and then, I think the difference between recovery and being sober is like sober, you kind of want to.
Yeah.
And recovery, you kind of have to, I guess.
Right.
You kind of have to.
When I first started, like, the sobriety life, right? My friend, she actually, Leslie, she actually took me to a... now, mind you, I'm already in the health and fitness industry at this point while I'm going on these crazy drinking rants and things like that, right? And I kind of felt a little lost, because I quit drinking, which meant I had to stop hanging out with certain people. I had to stop going out to places that were going to kind of like, tease me and make me want to drink. So I kind of felt lost and I wasn't really sure like what to do. And so she's like, come work out with me. I go to this CrossFit gym. And so they do sobriety Sundays. All right. And so it was free, but you have to sit through a class, right? So there's people that are willing to sit through the class and there's people that are not willing to sit through the class. And I was like, no, I'm not going because I don't need to go to a class.
Yeah.
Right. So I think she invited me a couple of times before I actually took her up on it. And man, the first class that I went to was like the bomb. You know what I mean? It just seemed like you had to be there to get the message that they were trying to give you. And it just seemed like they were talking to me, right? And so they were talking about how, and this is kind of related to the whole sober versus in recovery. Because one of the first things that I remember the guy saying was, an addiction could be like anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be alcohol. It could be whatever, bad behavior. It could be, bad thoughts, whatever. And so he said, so how do you determine like if you're addicted to something? And he's like, well, let's just say that there's the stovetop and there's a fire burning and you put your hand over it and your hand burns, right? And you take it, you move your hand, you're like, oh, that was hot.
Yeah.
But let me stick my hand in there again and see if it's still going to burn me, right? So you put your hand in there again and it burns you again. Yet you still think, maybe the third time it's not going to burn you. And I think that at that time I kind of related to it because I would go out and say, okay, today I'm going to be good. I'm just going to have a couple of drinks and I'm going to be good. And it seemed like I would go out and say I'm going to be good and I'd get trashed, like super trashed. And then I'd recover and say, whatever, I'll go on next weekend. And again, I'm going to be good. I'll be okay. And again, it would happen to me. So I kind of had to sit back and think, man, is this like, am I like addicted to this, to the alcohol? And I still kind of haven't figured that out. Right now I'm just like, well, I don't know if I was addicted to the alcohol or if I was just addicted to that bad behavior because I didn't need like alcohol every day or whatever, It was just like the actions that were happening after drinking because I wasn't really controlling it.
So it's funny you say that because I'll tell you this much, like the reason why I decided not to drink, right? Like I said, I had a very, very high tolerance. So like even now, I always tell people there's 3 things in my life that I don't think I have control over, and I think alcohol was one of them. Yeah. But what I mean control over was like, I drink a beer. Let's talk about wings, right? Let's talk about wings. Because I used to have my wings and then my beer. Draft. Okay. Give me another one. And then you feel that buzz coming in. So then instead of me slowing down when I feel the buzz coming in, I actually wanted more.
Beer or shots?
Both. Both. From the beer would let into the shots. Would let into let's go to the bar. Would let's go to the after hour. So that's what I'm saying. So when I thought about those things, I'm like, you know what? If I have one, it's gonna actually lead up to, and let's have another one, and then
it starts turning into a problem.
Exactly. So not in my actions when I was under the influence, not that I was a bad person, but that's when I had to make the choice. You know what? I'm gonna take another day. So it's funny you say that.
Yeah, and and so I still kind of think about it every day, and it just made a really big impact on me, to hear that, and it kind of put things into a different perspective.
Right.
So, do I feel like I'm in recovery? No, because I do feel like being sober is a choice that I've made. I think that I had to make it for several reasons. One, I think that I had way too many chances already, and I wasn't going to get by another one without either getting hurt, hurting somebody, or going to jail. And then two, I was kind of like messing up friendships because I was acting like a crazy person. So I was like, I think I value certain friendships enough to kind of take a step back and be like, hey, let me check myself a little bit. And it was crazy. So, I value my friendships.
That's awesome.
And they're good people.
I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
So, part of the little research that I was doing, they were talking about how sober is, how sober is a choice. And so now people are finding it to be kind of like a in thing, a cool thing. And, I think that they're kind of right, because it's funny that now I meet and run into and stuff like that, people that are not drinking.
Right.
And not that they said I'm not drinking ever in my life. They just decided to take a break for whatever reason they decided to. And, sometimes it was, there was people that knew about my 200-day sober challenge that I was doing. And so then they decided to take it on, and then several other people decided to take it on. So it was kind of like, I felt like I was creating a movement.
You do.
You know what I mean? And you don't really realize how you influence people. So like these people didn't have like any kind of problems with drinking or anything like that, but I feel like they did it to take it on as like a personal challenge. Right. Also like to do like some kind of cleanse, like they think it's like a what's it called, like a detox.
Yeah.
So some people did 200 days, some people do 2 weeks, some people do 30 days, and I was like, you don't have to do what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want to do. Just make sure that you complete it and that you're doing it for you. Don't do it for me or stuff like that. Exactly. So they're like, yeah, like sober is like the new in
cool thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, true. It's kind of true. Like I know for a fact when I first started, some people here that that I work with and stuff like that, we started going the same route, and then we just started counting days, and then once again, because we had once again sober is a choice, but at the same time, I guess we were so aware of the choice that we were taking, because if we keep on drinking, well, you're gonna have this habits continuously happen. Yeah. Let's see what happens if we change this habit for another habit. That's that's for me what was the big factor. Like
right.
I don't believe you can get rid of bad habits.
Yes.
I believe you replace them with another habit. With
a good habit.
So
definitely.
that was my thing, and you're right. It will start to influence other individuals.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people around my circle now that actually sober.
Are sober.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you say that because I forgot what we were saying. Whatever. Anyways, yeah. See, that's what happens when I have so many thoughts going on in my head. But sobriety is like a big influence on people for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure why, but I always think about it. Why do people take on being sober, especially when they see somebody doing it? And I feel like because in our, I don't know, I guess in our culture. And I want to say our culture, we're Latinos, it's not that common. And it's pretty difficult to remain sober because, like we have barbecues and fajitas and fiestas every weekend. And, it's always surrounded by alcohol. Like there's always alcohol. Kids' parties. It doesn't matter what the event is. There's always alcohol and stuff. So I'm like, dang, like it's kind of hard to be sober. It's not something really that like, especially like our older generation, like our parents, our uncles, it's not something that they're used to seeing.
They don't understand it.
They're just like, you're a little crazy, or what happened to you? I got a lot of that actually. I got a lot of like my cousins and stuff like that. Like, oh, what happened to you? Or you need to have a drink because, that's the only time you love everybody and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like I was a different person, but it took them a while to kind of get used to it. But now they know that I'm going to roll up there with a 12-pack of Topo Chico, and nothing they can say is going to, make me change my mind. I'm not going to drink.
I totally agree. I think they try to put you to the test on intention, to be honest with you. Because same thing happened to me. Like, there was so many barbecues. You say, anything that you go to, hey, una vironga, una cerveza, I'm good. They look at you like, you're sick?
Yes,
no, I'm good. Are you feeling bad? No. Do you go to church or something and made a promise?
Yeah.
Well, I made a promise to myself, but I'm good.
¿Qué te pasó?
Like, no, I'm good. So the reaction a lot of times is something hard to take, especially for the people that you're really close with.
Yeah.
But that's the thing when the challenge starts, to
yeah.
actually have integrity behind what you want to do and stuff like that. But
yeah, because one of the things that kind of helped me was posting it live. Like I said, I started with a 200-day sober challenge, and I would hashtag it, and I'm like, dang, like 199 days to go, and I was literally counting down the days for 200, and I was like, I really I had my 199th day planned out. I was like, you know what, on 199. I'm going to buy me a bottle, and at 12, I'm going to pop that bottle, I'm going to have me a drink because I deserve it, you know? And then when that day came, I was like, dang, do I want to ruin
That's exactly
200 days? Do I want to ruin 200 days, over just to have like a drink, just because I know that I can have it, when I probably shouldn't. Like, there's no reason to have it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So definitely, now that I go like to my family parties, like they actually, they congratulate me and they're like, dang, like I can't believe you're still going strong, you know what I mean? And I like it. I like the feeling of being like, it's kind of like I'm accomplishing something.
Yeah,
big,
you take pride behind it because it's not easy, to be honest with you. It's not easy. The temptation out there is hard.
It is.
But it's so rewarding. To me, it has been so rewarding.
Oh man, yes, it has. And I've been kind of going through this little this dilemma recently because I'm like, you know what? I think I'm ready to drink. But at the same time, it seems like every time I say that to myself, because I've said it several times, during these 2 years, every time I say, you know what, this weekend I'm going to go ahead and like have a glass of wine and chill, you know what I mean? Not go to the bar and go get some shots. But it seems like every time I have these thoughts or plans, somebody pops up in my life that says, hey, man, I'm sober too, or hey, I'm trying to be sober, or hey, and I heard that you were sober, or I saw on your Facebook that you were 2 years sober, like how do you do it? It seems like there's always, and I'm just like, I see you, God. I know you're sending these people over to me on purpose.
Man, if you knew, I'm telling you, if you knew how that's crazy how that happens. Because I never actually planned to okay, I'm gonna go this weekend, and it's not in my thoughts, but I had those thoughts where, you know what if I have a drink? I socially drink.
Yeah.
I socially drink. What if? And then you're right. I start counting. It's been 4 years. So it's been 3 years. So,
you want to throw it all away?
Nah, I'm good. I just go do something else, But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's so hard, because I was like, I don't know if I will. I don't know if I'll start over. If I'll have one drink and then start all over, or or just throw it all away. It's a very tough decision. Now it's like, dang, like, do I do it or do I not do it? Now I have people actually looking up to me because of this. And I think that's like the most, it's so much pressure now. Like, so much pressure now not to drink. So it's actually the good kind of pressure.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I do enjoy it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to complain. All right. So let me see. So, all right. So we already talked about why you choose to continue.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So David and I are in the health, fitness, and nutrition industry. So how do you feel? Well, I guess we already talked about this because you said you kind of replaced bad habits with good habits. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it kind of replaced it with working out.
Working out.
Yeah.
It had a lot to do with it. So, like that was actually, to me, the fitness industry is what kind of helped me to get through it because I kept myself busy doing those activities. So I'm going to give you an example. Like before when I used to work in construction, construction workers, we used to do, get off at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever hours we worked, we used to go to the corner store. The store, we call it the Madrazo. That was the name for all you guys that know. Y'all know this.
The Madrazo?
That was the name. We call it that. Vamos al Madrazo because how many, That
sounds dangerous already.
Yeah. So it was always between an 18-pack to 218-pack between a few of us on a Tuesday or a Thursday. So that was actually my to-do thing because I have nothing else to do.
Right.
Now, I got involved into fitness. I got involved into being active. So because the workouts were intense, I was drained. I'm like, man, I don't want to drink. I want to go home and sleep. Yeah. So that kind of related little by little to actually get me like involved and not having that temptation because I was so tired,
Right.
And of course, the weekend was the main temptation, but that's when slowly started having different thoughts, So And to be honest with you, another reason why I decided to kind of slow down. I'm a father of 4 girls, so yeah, 4 girls, all girls. So like the way I grew up with a different influence as far as my father drinking and most of my family drinking.
All right.
And I seen that, I was seeing myself get into that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to do something different as an example for these little ones here as I keep growing up. So it's actually the reason why I kind of keep on. Actually, the main reason why.
So your why, right? Your why
yeah,
is a
my
little
why.
bit different.
I don't, because I remember, like you say, how you see memories and videos. There's a lot of pictures that popped up one time. I said, "Dude, look at me. That's me. Look." And the things I'm doing is not something to be very proud of.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that those pictures were there because it made me realize what I was doing. So now I'm like, well, like you said, we're not getting any younger, But you know what? Let me try to switch something up. So now it's like I see my girls, and they're in the teenage years to the 3-year-old, so they're watching what they got social media. So it's like, you know what? I gotta be a better influence for them.
A positive influence.
So that's actually the reason why too.
And I think that it's like breaking the cycle,
right?
Because I think that in our culture we grew up a certain way. My dad wasn't so much of a drinker, neither has my mom, but they did drink in parties and stuff like that. Right. But I do remember seeing like all my tios and stuff like that getting super trash, and even though they were good fathers and providers, they weren't necessarily the best figures for their kids. You know what I mean? So it's great, to be in an age where we can realize that, we need to break the cycle. I don't have any kids myself, but I think it's great. And, congratulations to you. And I'm pretty sure your kids are going to be super proud of you once they realize, everything that you went through. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because they don't see it now. But I think that once they look back and realize like the transformation that you did, prior to, your sobriety and getting into the health and fitness industry, has been completely a 180 turnaround. So I think that's just, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's
breaking the cycle, man. That's what we got to do. That's what this generation is about. So, all right, let me see. So from what you know about health and fitness and physical transformations, all right, because I posted a picture of David of his before and after, all right, so we went from like what people think is a dad bod to now we got like the dad bod, you know what I mean? So how do you think that, alcohol has kind of helped you, get that physical transformation?
Well, for a fact, it was a big factor. It was a huge factor. So let me go back on this, okay?
All right.
My main source of hydration before was beer.
That's where you were getting your water
That's
from?
where I was getting my hydration from, and I'm being totally honest, So like I said, when I first got started, because I was like very interested in winning this body fat challenge, I was already kind of semi trying to eat good, taking certain supplements and stuff like that. But the main thing that I was not leaving alone was my beer and my drinking and stuff like that. So I said, you know what? I know let me try. And the crazy part, it had a ripple effect because I actually got a piggy bank.
Piggy bank?
I got a little piggy bank.
All right.
I said, all right, cool. Well, I spend this much on a 12-pack every day. Well, let me put in this piggy bank every day. And that was just one thing that kind of led me. And then when I started taking my weight, started taking my picture, so within a period of like 3 months, I was down like I was 30 pounds down, without, and I was like, whoa, what the hell? And I used to be an extra large, and I went through a size small. I was like, what happened?
You shrank.
I literally shrank. I'm like, but so that took a huge, part of my transformation as well, and that's why I said, you know what, I'm gonna keep on doing it.
Yeah, so seeing the physical transformation kind of made a big impact on you.
Yes.
And, I tell a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure you tell a lot of people too, because when they come to us, we're wellness coaches. We teach people how to, lose weight or gain weight, basically just live a healthier life. So that's what we do. And a lot of people, when they come to us for our coaching advice, they're like, do I have to stop drinking? Isn't that one of the questions that they always ask?
So that is one of the main questions that I get from a lot of people. And here's the thing, like I always tell people, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to stop, but I would recommend you to maybe slow down. Once again, like I went cold turkey. I know not everybody's able to do that, but for one thing, I don't think drinking is bad. Just to kind of clarify.
Right, exactly.
I just want to clarify that I'm not against drinking. Like it was just a choice of myself. So like socializing and stuff, I have a drink. Whether it's a beer, vodka, glass of wine, whatever you're drinking, go for it. But I always tell them, just know that if you're wanting to get a result and wanting to continue drinking the way you do, well,
it's going to be a very, very slow process.
Yes, it is.
So I think that what people don't understand is, yes, we're not saying that, drinking is bad, but when you're trying to change your lifestyle, you do need to cut it down a little bit, or what I call smart drinking, which is like avoid drinks that have so many calories, because a lot of people don't count, the calories that they're drinking.
Right.
They only want to count the calories that they're eating. But the calories in drinks are crazy high, and believe me, they add up. Yeah, the sugar in these drinks, these little sweet, fruity drinks that the girls like, and some of the guys like too. I'm not gonna say that they don't like them.
Yeah.
But beer, it's okay. Like there's like 90-calorie beer now, which is fine. But you can't have like an 18-pack. You know what I mean? Like every day. So so you got to make a decision whether you want to change your lifestyle or just continue to be the way that you are. Either way, it's your choice, and either way is good.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right, cool. So let me see what is next. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about personal development, because I know that it's something that you and I didn't grow up with.
Right.
But being in this industry of health and fitness, we've kind of been groomed to like read books, to listen to audios, and I think that it's been a very big part of me continuing my sobriety, and also being a positive influence to other people who are either starting to think about maybe becoming sober, even, if it's because they feel like they need to, they should, or just to kind of get like a detox cleanse, from like alcohol. So how do you feel like personal development has, helped you during this process?
So actually, that's what did it. That's actually, to be honest with you, what made everything happen for me. I didn't know about personal development till actually I started in this fitness industry and health. Gonzalo, my friend, he's the one that, hey, you're
shout out to Gio.
Gio, appreciate it. Like forever grateful for that. And like, what's personal development? Like, what are you talking about? Like I don't read.
I don't read either. I was like, I'm not reading a book. I don't care what you tell me.
He's like, listen to this. So he started giving me audios, and I'm like,
this is boring.
This is interesting. However, there was just one thing led to another, and I was not against it, but I was not interested in listening to any kind of positivity. I just felt like it was not for me.
Yeah.
Now it's like I cannot go a day without doing it, and that's what literally helped me to get through the moments of temptation.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, like even like a year being sober, like gatherings and doing this and doing that, and the memories come back of the fun and everything. But that's when that positivity, whatever you're reading, what listening to, it's like boom, it kicks in. Like, oh damn, poop. Okay, let's get back on.
Right, like certain things just kind of like pop in your head and stuff.
Right. So it was a big. It's actually the main thing that helped me get through it.
Yeah. This personal development stuff. Like, I wish. So this is the thing. So like I said, David and I, we run around a certain culture of people now, right? And we all have like the same mentality, the same goal. Nutrition is our mission, right? And so that's what we do. We inspire other people to live healthier lives. But one of the things that I talk to a lot of people about is not only like the things that you're feeding into your body as far as food and water, but what you're feeding your mind, right? So this has a lot to do with your personal growth. And I feel like that's kind of what happened to us when we started learning about personal development. Because like you said, they tell us to read books, and I was like, whatever. I haven't read a book since I left high school.
Right.
Listen to this audio, and I was like, God, this voice sounds boring. But I would plug into it at night and be like, I'm gonna just use it to go to sleep. And you'd be amazed at what you actually retain while you're asleep and listening to an audio. As opposed to like when you're maybe driving or something. Like I feel like I retain more when I'm asleep. But it has definitely helped me a lot during the sobriety process, because like you said, I feel like there's a lot of temptation out there, but if you surround yourself with a certain group of people,
right,
they kind of help you along the process, and like I said, we all have the same mentality, we all have the same goal, so it's definitely something to look forward to if this is you and you're thinking about trying the sober life for whatever reason. you can always shout out to me or David. We might be more than happy to share some tips, on how to go about this process. We're by no means AA counselors.
No.
We don't do the 12-step program.
No.
But we're definitely, people that have gone through the sober process. We're still going through it. But you're always welcome to reach out to us, and we can show you how we've been doing it, what we've been doing, what we've been reading, what we've been listening to. Our friends, we can invite you to some of our parties that we go to.
We turn up. Y'all just don't know.
For sure. And so if you haven't seen, you can always follow me on social media here. And I'm going to post David's Instagram here so you can contact him as well. And so, so that way you can follow us on social media and see how we turn up without drinking, because it's actually possible.
Oh, you have no idea. It's so possible. And just to leave a quick note, like you talk about personal development, how important it is, right? So there was a point that I realized not going to my drinking, that drinking was my stress reliever. Drinking was my way of getting out from work, family problems, stress within myself, your spouse, whatever. You're just frustrated. Oh, I need a drink. That was like, it's just a habit.
It's the go-to.
It's a go-to,
Yeah.
But that, thanks to, like I said, to, listening and reading books that helped me like develop a different view of things. When I had those temptations, that's what I mean by temptation. It's not always about people tempting you. It's just about how you feel being tempted, because you feel like, I need a break from my day. But that's what it actually will do for you. It give you that mental strength to keep going on your goals and stuff. So
definitely makes you stronger to get through any kind of challenge. It doesn't necessarily, we're talking about alcohol here, but if you have any other kind of vices that you feel are your go-tos and you think you may want to give it a break, you can still reach out to us. I think that any vice is still about the same. And so, to kind of help you guys, or if you know somebody, or if you want to give it a shot, we actually have challenges. We can go, we don't like to get people committed into long-term challenges, especially if this is like your first time kind of giving it a try. But we can start you off with a 3-day challenge, a 2-week challenge, a 30-day challenge. And if you really, really want to just kind of go in with a bang, that we have these 90-day challenges that we work with people on, in private groups and things like that. We work one-on-one, we do coaching, we give you fitness tips, we give you meal plans, we give you all kinds of support that you're probably going to be needing if you're trying to change your life.
The accountability you'll get, to be honest with you, is what really is going to make a difference a lot of times. That I know when what we do, accountability has been a big game changer when your goals. And I don't mean goals just in fitness, just like I say, if you're trying to grow as a person, maybe leave the bad habits behind you, just switch your habits, that's actually going to be a game changer. The accountability you'll get.
Definitely. So get with us. Like I said, follow us on our social media. David, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Priscilla.
I learned a little bit about you and your sobriety life, man. I knew that we had different stories. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that have their story also. So if you want to share your story, give us a shout. We won't blast you on social media. Unless you want me to, then I'll go ahead and put you on like the stories and stuff. But definitely, thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you for the invite.
Topo Chico, please. I didn't bring the Topo Chico so we could cheers, but you know what we mean.
Yes.
So thanks again, guys, and then we will see you again next Tuesday. Well, you won't be here because I don't know what I'm going to be talking about next week.
But I'll be watching.
But he'll be watching, and like I said, reach out to us. We're more than willing to help you guys out in any kind of situation. Don't ask me for money, though. Or you can ask me for some money. We can actually help you there, too, all right? So if you need some money, give us a shout. Send us a DM. We'll hook it up, all right? So that's the end of the show. Thanks for tuning in to Y Tu Que? Life Lessons and Culture. Peace out.
Peace.
Yeah.